lot of builders these days rave about model kits with amazing part separation and articulation. I say these days because I've been building model kits for years, for pretty much my whole adult life, and I've seen how this wave of people fixate on these latest and greatest features of model kits. Features that bring model kits closer and closer to being much more like action figures. A lot of the time, those two things, part separation and articulation, are their main criteria for calling a model kit good or bad. But I disagree with that ideology. To me, model kits don't need to have amazing part separation and articulation. Sure, that kind of model kit technology is nice to have, but I can't say a model kit is bad just because of seams, polycaps, or stickers. Don't get me wrong, I think being able to snap together model kits and not needing to worry about those things makes for a great building experience. But I don't think it's fair to dismiss model kits that have the so-called imperfections. I've always seen model kits as projects, something you put together yourself and make better with your own specifications. Could be a simple snap build, a snap build with stickers, a custom paint job, or with whatever. If something doesn't look good enough to you, you put in the work and make changes. Put in the work and you get what you want from the model kit. So in this video, we're taking a look at a model kit that goes under the radar of interest these days. Because, well, I think it needs some work done on it. The BB Senshi Sinanju. Taking a look at the box, we have a 3D render of the SD Sinanju. We can see that it was first released in 2011. On one side, they feature the ornate sleeves design of the Sinanju that will need to be stickered on or painted in. They also show the included equipment and the storage options at the back of the shield. And a weird feature of the BB Senshi line, this Sinanju has a transformed mode that they made just for this SD model. And they make a side note that the red action base is included. On the last side of the box, they show the stickers applied on the sleeves decorations, and they advertise that this Sinanju pairs well with the SDBB Senshi Unicorn. Opening the box, we get 6 runners, including 1 for the action base and 2 for the polycaps. We get a foil sheet for the gold sleeves design and a small decal sticker sheet. The manual is a brochure type, and the parts on the runners aren't that many, so building this was pretty quick and simple. It only took me about an hour to put this together. The construction is pretty basic, but you do need to keep in mind that the nubs can look bad if you're not careful, since red and black plastic stress easily. And here's the SDBB Senshi Sinanju out of the box, with no painting and no stickers. As you can see, for a mobile suit with ornate sleeves design, it needs a bit of work done on it to have it look its best. For what you get straight out of the box, I would say it has everything I need. Again, it has 2 sheets of stickers for anyone that builds with stickers. But my least favorite accessory for this kit, we get a beam saber molded in a nice clear yellow, although the handle is not a separate piece. It's my least favorite because even if you paint it, if it gets scratched while you insert it in the hands, it's not going to be camouflaged by the color of the plastic. Thankfully, that's the only weird accessory because the Sinanju's beam rifle comes in gray, and it even has the attachable rocket launcher. We get 2 beam tomahawks that can be formed as a beam naginata or even attached to the back of the shield, which by the way has some nice sculpted detail that would look great after some painting. Also, I think it's pretty funny that the back is bombarded with attachment points. It has attachment points for the rifle and the rocket launcher as well if you were interested in doing that. And finally, we have an action base in clear red. A relatively cheap model kit can be displayed right out of the box. And yet this premium Bandai Master Grade with wide wings doesn't get its own action base. What a world we live in. Now in terms of proportions, I much prefer this than what we get with the recent MGSDs. I always look to getting SDs for cuter, more adorable versions of the mobile suits I like, and the MGSD line kinda gives too much length to the limbs for my taste. It's like it isn't sure if it wants to be cute or if it wants to be cool. Even the cross silhouette line was not as weird to me in proportions. And you don't even need to elongate the limbs on SDCS if you didn't want to. So honestly, for SDs, I'm sticking to building these older model kits under the BB Senshi and SDCS line. It's just pretty sad that we aren't getting any new releases for those lines, because it seems Bandai is on full steam ahead on making MGSDs. Now for something pretty funny for the BB Senshi line, they include some weird transformations in the instructions. If you watch my very old review of the BB Senshi Unicorn, you can see that they added an actual unicorn mode. But for the Sinanju, I don't know why they thought it was necessary to include something like this. Anyway, here's the Sinanju beside a few other things from my collection. The Real Grade Gramps version 2.0, the Plyobot Guren Lagan, the Master Grade Gramps version 3.0, the BB Senshi Unicorn, BB Senshi Banshee, my fake plant, some Gundam Gashapons, and my previous most recent review, the Master Grade Enhanced Double Zeta Verka. I don't know why my collection of the Unicorn series is only in the SD form. I even have the Zeong in the backlog. I should get myself Master Grades of these guys soon. Now for articulation and posing, this pretty much is as basic as it gets. All the connections here are pretty much all ball joints. And because of the old engineering and the SD proportions, you really don't get a lot. You can still do the arm rotation, and then you can twist at the hips, but anything more than that, it's just slight adjustments everywhere. It doesn't even have an elbow joint or a knee joint, which is weird because from this collection of BB Senshi kits, they gave the Banshee a full working elbow. But something special about this one though, you can actually move the mono eye by turning the head. So yeah, all the posing that you can do with this is pretty basic, as with all the other older SD kits. This SD Sinanju is nowhere near the engineering standard that they introduced with the MGSD line. With limited part separation, limited articulation, you can't expect the same construction as a newer model kit. However, I think it's a great option for any SD fans that are looking to get an SD version of the Sinanju, because well, it's the only one we have right now. I guess there's the X standard, but those kits are holy. This SD Sinanju is great if you're okay with stickers, and if you're into practicing your hobby skills. This is one of the best model kits that can serve as a base for any custom project, and I will be using the SD Sinanju to test out these. The acrylic markers that Artex sent over for me to test. Artix? If anybody from this company is watching, please let me know. But that's it for this video. Special thanks to my first ever channel member, Iron Beagle 009 in the friend tier. Hope you like the videos that you helped produce. And if you guys want to support the channel more, thank you. There's a link to my Patreon page in the description. And like I said, channel memberships are now open as well. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, leave a like below. If you want to see more model kit builds and reviews like this, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.